Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga, and he is the man with the plan. How are you doing today, Joey?
I'm doing awesome, man. You know, for some reason, Boca Raton is on my mind.
Oh, gosh. We're going to have to work on how you say that, my friend.
How am I supposed to say that?
I do this all the time. Raton.
Raton.
Oh, is it really Raton?
Boca Raton.
Boca
Raton.
Or
right,
just Boca. Just say Boca.
Boca Raton. No, that's okay. This is good. All right.
You sure?
Yeah, we got a great guest today, don't we?
Boca Raton.
Yes.
Boca Raton is in the house.
Sweet. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we've got Michele Bellisari here. She flew all the way. No, she's actually out in Florida.
Yeah.
Where it's just beautiful, right? Florida. Gorgeous. Michele B. with Remax Services, Boca Raton, Florida, Joey.
There we go.
Well done.
Did you know it was Raton, Jeff?
I did.
Okay, awesome. Let's go.
Mono.
Joey. Oh, man. That's the last time I'm going to have you involved with the intro.
Exactly.
That's hysterical.
Oh, so Michele, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you've been in real estate and kind of what got you into the business?
Well, thanks, guys, for having me on today. I'm so excited. This is so cool. It's like, the day after my birthday, so it's just kind of like another gift to be able to chat with y'all. And
you guys had a great time.
Yeah, thanks for saying Boca Raton the right way. And I could have flown in from Boca because we actually have a fantastic executive airport here that is also going to have a customs facility. So we're in between Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach. Yeah. I'm actually in certain airspace of a certain Presidente. So I occasionally have fighter jets over my house because he flies into Palm Beach, right? And so we're in that, I don't know what they call it, but, So it's very interesting.
Are you supposed to share that information or not?
Yeah.
No, everybody knows.
Secret Service is listening in,
If you go on Boca Executive Airport, Boca Airport, it's at Boca Airport, they actually have the times when the president comes because the airspace is shut down and the traffic's a little tangled. So now we kind of are all in a routine with it.
All right. Yeah. All right. Excitement.
Always exciting in Boca.
So how long?
So I've been with Remax since 2012. I've had my license since 2003. Okay. And in my previous careers, I was consumer health product sales with Listerine and Benadryl. And, stuff everybody uses and knows about. And then I also did pharmaceutical sales for about 3 years, women's health products. And at that time, in 2003, I got my real estate license. So,
Neat.
Yeah.
Right. All right. And just loving it out there.
Well, I've been here. My parents moved down when I was actually in high school. Not great when you're in high school, but then within about a month going to the beach after school, I kind of just was fine with it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm probably made a lot of friends there, hanging out at the beach. Absolutely.
It'll be my 40th year in Boca this summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
40th.
Yeah.
40th. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just had my 40th birthday.
There you go.
I was going to say 37 or something.
Oh, I like Joey. Whatever I said, don't worry.
He's making up for not knowing how to pronounce the city.
No, this was a good makeup. That was spectacular, my friend.
Boca Raton. Oh, Joey, I should have played this for you.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, right?
All right. So, Michele, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you've developed this brand, because you have a brand out there, and how you're using more of, or sharing more of a lifestyle, I guess, if you will, versus just always talking real estate, right? Because I think that it's important that agents know that you can actually have a good business and good referral business by talking about things that aren't really real estate related,
Very true. Very true.
So why don't you share a little bit about your story, how you kind of got to that point?
Sure. So I got my license in 2003, and as you guys experienced, we had a huge run up in the housing market, and then we had a spectacular crash. And so during that time, unless you were really quick to pivot, which I wasn't, and I think a lot of agents weren't, those who jumped on understanding short sales really fast, did some really fantastic business and whatnot. I wasn't one of those folks. I was really working with a lot of first-time home buyers and whatnot, and we had a personal incident in my family. My husband had an accident in 2010 that just was, something you never expect. And I mean, he's fine, but I had to rethink how I was going to do my business after that. And I was really fortunate to have, as I always say, smarter people than me to finally go to and just say, listen, I need to do something different or I'm getting out of this business. And thankfully, I have a very dear friend of mine who's also an agent who I talk to. And ironically, which I was mentioning to you, I saw Mike Ferry this morning because he was here in Boca for a special event. And I went to his Superstar event in 2012. And the combination of a few shifts made a huge difference for me, which basically was, if I wanted to stay in the business with my sales background and marketing background, listings was where I really needed to be. And frankly, I was so exhausted anyways, I had a hard time wanting to go out with buyers. I love buyers, but I was really tired. I was exhausted mentally and just didn't have, like I always say, nobody wants a Debbie Downer realtor to take them out to look for their house, It's like, and it was just too much. So I started to shift, understanding the importance of being a listing agent, which I never understood until that really happened. And that was at 50. So my 50th birthday, made a move to RE/MAX, great broker, still at that particular office, and started focusing on niches. I worked in niche markets as a pharmaceutical rep. I worked in niche markets as a consumer health product rep. I was a first-time homebuyer specialist. So the niche part of my life kind of made sense. And I was like, well, why don't I look at that on the listing side? So I started working with probate properties. I'd been through it in my own family. And so I understood some of the issues that were involved. And I'd also been on the buyer side of two of those types of properties where the agents really did not know what they were doing with the transaction or keeping the attorneys in the loop. And some things really went sideways with that. And then I went, I kind of like this. And in between all that, I had started this little green house cleaning business to supplement when the market went south. So I knew how to clean out a house, and I knew what people were looking for, so I kind of put them together. I studied it, and I went, oh, I can do this. So I started going after literally sitting at a courthouse. Like, I would go up to the courthouse 3 or 4 times a week and go through the security line to the point where the guys all knew me. And then I segued that into a second niche, which was working with seniors downsizing.
Got it. Okay.
And the reason is, with the probate, naturally, it's typically someone older who's passed away. Right. But then there's a surviving spouse, or perhaps there's another issue. So I could see that. So I have a designation, the SRES, and then I have another certified senior housing professional. So I've got 2 designation certifications in that. And I took all that networking that I had learned over the years, and I started just very focused on networking with, certain professionals that made sense for my business. And it turned my business around literally in less than 6 months. I had surgery in May of 2012, went to the Superstar event in October, and, in less than 6 months, I was like, I could see the trajectory. I was like, okay, this makes sense. And if I don't want to work with buyers because I'm too tired right now, I don't have to, I can refer them out. So if I get them from my listings, I can refer them out. And so that's what I started doing.
And I think that's something that a lot of agents, as we teach classes around the valley here too, is it seems like a lot of agents have a hard time figuring out what niche or niche they really want to go after, right? But I think that once you decide that and you dig in, right, then that's what separates you from the masses.
You have to own it. I think you have to own whatever it is that you're passionate about and go in the opposite direction of the masses. Especially where I'm at this stage, I'm going to flash forward 6 years later, I really give a lot of credit and kudos to those agents that can sit in their office and make phone calls all the time or door knock. I can't do it. It's just not my personality. I'm more of a let me drill down and network through social media, network through my video marketing, network through going to an event. And that's worked really well for me. But I think that comes with age, too. I think, I don't believe that age has a whole lot to do with anything other than the fact that I think sometimes you make quicker decisions, and that's kind of where I'm at, right? But what is a niche for someone? I mean, and I say this all the time, experience is not a niche. To me, that, first time home buyer, FSBOs, not a niche. To me, it's something that is specific, that you either know really well or you learn it really well, and then that's all you do. And if something comes along here and there, that's great, but you're known as. Known as,
absolutely. So did you ever have, when you go to the courthouse, did you ever have any of those guards say, "Ma'am, we need you to leave"?
No, but I always, I got to a point where, and this was so funny you should ask that, I got to a point where everything that I had, here we go, was in baggies. In my purse and in my briefcase and everything, because it was like going through the airport, like TSA. So everything was in baggies. You had
to go through got it, the security points.
The best part about the courthouse was typically on Fridays, there was weddings at the courthouse.
Okay.
And I would see some pretty cool brides and grooms, and it was cool.
Happy stuff.
Yeah, most of it was not happy. Well, plus, I'm looking at death all the time on the, docket. But in all seriousness, having gone through the loss of both my parents, my dad at 58 and my mom at 61, and probate and some issues with that, I've been through that. So I do have a pretty good understanding of what families are going through. This is not for everyone. For me, I understood it. And grief is such a private and personal thing. And property, I always have if you can avoid probate, do it, because it is the worst possible time to have to be responsible for anything, because you're just not, I don't think when my mom died, I hardly could have a conversation with anyone for 6 months, because your brain just can't, So how the hell do you sell a house? How do you deal with all that stuff? Well, you need people that can guide you and say, it's okay, you don't have to do this today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. No, I love sharing that. I think that's a valid thing every agent needs to, and I hope that they listen in to this and listen to you say that your business really turned around when you decided to focus more on very specific type of business, right?
Yeah. And take control, because when you list, you really do have, in my opinion, unless you have a team, which I don't have a team. I have a team on my back end, but I don't have a buyer's agent or anything like that. But I like to travel, and I like to do things with my family. My oldest daughter's a flight attendant, and if I'm working with more buyers, I really can't do some of the things that I would do, say, on the weekends or whatever. I can manage my listing business pretty much from anywhere.
Right.
Which is great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why don't we share? I also see kind of behind you there the pink sticker over your left shoulder, right?
Oh, my Sampaga?
Okay. Yeah. So why don't you share a little bit about how did you come up with that hashtag, that web, because I know you have SoBoca.com also.
I do.
Tell us a little bit about that, because that's your brand now, right?
And I'm telling you, tongue in cheek. First of all, the originality of it was mine. The concept, there are other people that you and I both know who have some really great brands. Dustin Brome out in Salt Lake, Search Salt Lake, and my friend down in Naples, Pinky Nose Naples, and Neil Mathwig with I Love Madison. So, and I was like driving along, and I'd met all these people, by the way, Snap Pack. So, as you know, that's just been huge for me because I met all these people, and then I met them in person in Park City in October. And so we got to chat a lot about the local branding format, but I was driving along right around a year ago, and somebody cut me off, which is typical in Boca, by the way. And I called Kylie, and I said, some cut me off, and I said, oh my God, hashtag so Boca, that's so Boca. And she goes, Mom, I think that's like perfect. I'm like, no, I think I could turn that into something. And literally, I ran with it. I literally did run with it, and I got the domain name and everything. And I was out and about so much anyways, and I'd already embraced video and Instagram and Facebook Lives. And I was like, why don't I just showcase my town?
There you go.
And that's as simple as it sounds. That's how simple it was. The hard part was putting together the website, the WordPress site, understanding SEO, like what's working, what's not working. I just really, really have doubled down on YouTube because of the SEO part of it, which you and I were talking about.
Right.
But it turns out that people really do like to know more about their town without being sold to.
Right.
And so absolutely. I just talk about Boca. Oh, and by the way, I'm a real estate agent with RE/MAX Services. I don't have to sit there and here's the market report and stuff, because most people that I think I'm projecting to, they probably turn it off,
Yeah.
So Michele, when you did your brand, and I love how you said, oh, by the way, I'm a real estate agent. When did that actually take place? I mean, were you talking about the community, the town first for a while, and then say, oh, by the way?
Yeah. So I'm so proud of where I live. We are one of the most philanthropic communities I know of. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The type of giving back. There isn't a night of the week that something is not happening for a nonprofit here. Big, small, medium. I'm going to something tonight. It's a women's build for Habitat. And so I was talking about, I don't know, I was at a museum event, and I was at the George Snow Scholarship thing, and then I was like, oh, and I was doing Snapchat. Nobody was doing Snapchat, especially my age, right? Because I'm like so past the 35-year-old demographic, and I'm like, I could do Snapchat. Oh, and I can save these and reuse them. Oh, this is kind of cool. And that's really what happened. I just started using it, and the brand sort of developed just because I was already out doing it and showcasing it. And so the next level is, hashtag So Boca Travels. So like down in Fort Lauderdale, we're like, hashtag left So Boca today. Or like I was in Bimini for something. Hashtag So Boca's in Bimini. So we still talk about it. And I do it with my daughters. So sometimes they'll take over the Instagram stories. And I'm like, Kylie flies everywhere. I'm like, take the damn thing over and, I don't know, wherever the hell you are. Are you in Chile? Oh, okay. Talk about So Boca being in Chile. I don't care. That's cool. As long as you put a Boca spin on it. You
You should have her have some type of, she probably has a shirt or something, right? You can have the.
No, but I'm working. I'm working on that.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, I saw something the other day, and I'm like, I think there's a way for me to order where I don't have to order a lot. But I'm thinking, I've got hats. Absolutely. I've got my hats.
Absolutely. Oh, that's cool. Now, so I'm curious. So you went to Park City, right?
Yeah.
In October, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that you need the type of clothes in South Florida to keep you warm there, right? So you probably had to buy a whole new wardrobe.
I did. I had a few things. My husband's whole family's from Columbus, so we go up there here and there. I'm Canadian. I don't go back there very much, but I can handle the cold. I'll tell you what, though, the funniest thing is watching the warm weather people freak out when it starts to snow in October. Yeah. So it was Sal from San Diego, Pinky, and myself were like, it's snowing! We went out to the balcony. I'm telling you, you would have died laughing. It was so ridiculous.
That's funny.
It was really funny, but actually we had a great time. I mean, it was just a beautiful location for this mastermind. And we all walked away I just feel like the luckiest girl right now that I've met such amazing people in the last year and a half from Snapchat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I know you're using Instagram and Instagram stories a lot now. I like the Instagram, what you've done with, actually did some classes this past month, and I showcased your Instagram, your feed, basically, how you do the whole checkerboard look.
Nice.
But it really...
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, that's... Whoops. Hit that one with my pinky over there. Anyway. That was perfect timing. What the heck is going on?
Wow, that was like, whew. That was good.
But no, so I shared that, and everybody really liked the whole checkerboard look with the white, and the black text and all that. How are you seeing? So, are you seeing a lot of engagement happening more so now with some of the Instagram stories that you're sharing? Is it in it with those apps? It just makes it easy, I guess, to share whenever you're out and about.
Yeah. So what I do, like you and I just did one like a couple minutes ago. I just saved it.
Yeah.
I will do things and then save before I post. And I think that's one thing people have to understand. You don't have to post right away. So if you want to save it, think about what you want to put on it or what hashtag you want to use. That's the way to go. The thing is, it's taken me a while to figure out what kind of look I wanted for the Michele V. And I came up with the checkerboard one, which you and I were talking about. And I'm like, I'm really liking that. So I'm going to do the same thing on my So Boca one because crazy me, I've got 2 Instagram accounts. I don't recommend that, but I do because they're very separate. But I'm also looking at the same kind of checkerboard idea for So Boca so that it's visually just to me a little easier on the eye than just constant, Yeah. But what I like is, and this is like really kind of interesting, is I went to Target and my kids are not little kids anymore, and it's not like Target's right next door to me. So I happened to run in there and I was like, wow, they have this dollar spot. What the hell's a dollar spot? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in heaven because I like to thrift. I'm the girl on Monday mornings in my neighborhood. Oh, swear to God, true story. I picked up something on Monday and I'm like, let's bring it back to the house. Somebody's throwing this out. So the dollar spot, I was like, how do I not know about this? So I took a few quick clips, and what I do, I don't always have my DJI Osmo, but I just kind of like do like really nice, like nice and smooth on video. Saved it all, came home, threw it up on a YouTube video. I'm learning how to SEO, so I don't have a huge following yet, but I've got like 100 views on that little video. I can put it out there. I'm talking about my community without talking about real estate.
Yeah.
But I threw it on Instagram stories. I ended up with like hundreds of views of the Instagram story, believe it or not, on So Boca. Not so much on my other one.
Yeah.
Really weird. But eyeballs on there. Oh, and by the way, I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And people love the shopping stuff.
So you have seen focusing on more of the niche and the branding. I mean, that's just giving you like new life for real estate, right? I mean,
it really
is that
has.
Just what it's done? Okay.
Yeah, I would say so because now it's more like it's a combination of a lifestyle brand and real estate. So there are times like on Tuesdays where I'll maybe go around to some open houses and I'll showcase some of the high-end listings here. And usually on Instagram stories, I'll probably start adding more of those so I can use them for YouTube because of the search engine scenario with that. But yeah, I think it's been really easy to just kind of blend the two together so that I could showcase my area. And I do add in Boca Raton and South Florida because I am based in Boca, but I do sell throughout South Florida, mostly in Broward and Palm Beach counties, occasionally down in Miami, very, very occasionally. So I'm trying to just kind of expand this to hashtag So Florida and hashtag So Boca. Yeah, so I'm always kind of like thinking like, well, that's great that it's local, but we have a lot of international people here that come and buy or need to sell. So how can I touch on that? So I'm kind of thinking outside of the box on that.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. I would say it's like we're micro influencers a little bit. Like we do have companies approaching us to, do sponsored things or trade and things like that. And that's been really kind of very cool. Very cool. I didn't expect that. That wasn't the whole purpose of it. But
what will happen as you get more engagement, as you get more following out there and more people see it, they're going to come to you because you're the one putting out the message.
Yeah, and I did do a talk to the a group of women last week, and I got a message through Instagram stories. I saw you speak. We're moving here in XYZ. I want you to be my realtor. There you go. Done.
There we go. So, before I ask you, because you're not going to be able to draw from the mask here, obviously.
Oh,
we always have somebody draw from the mask, but I'll ask you a question anyway.
Okay.
But I wanted to find out. So, with agents that are watching or listening, what would be one tip you would give them to help them kind of through that process? How do they decide a niche or a brand? I mean, kind of, what's that starting point? How would somebody get started to try to figure that out?
I think they need to kind of look inward and see what I'm all about. How can I help someone? So there was some situations where I couldn't help certain people in my life, but that skill set was there with people that actually would take my advice and let me help them. Yeah. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. So that's how I ended up doing the pieces that I was doing, because I get it. And so it's more so find something that makes sense to you. Maybe your niche is working golf course communities, or maybe my husband's a sport fishing guide and captain. Maybe you're a boating person. That's where you need to probably be and really own that and be that person who can find a 45-foot, dock or slip for someone who wants a condo or whatever. But I think it's more so, don't worry so much about what everyone else is doing. Find things that other people are, not doing that make sense to you. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And focus on listings. I mean, that's my thing. Focus on the listings.
Well, thank you for sharing. So this has been great. And I know when we talked before, you said all these things kind of came together to rejuvenate your business and your life. Really, it just makes it a lot more fun to do business, I think, when you're doing things that you really enjoy.
It makes it a lot more fun, to the point where, I even developed a little a program called sipsocialsell.com. And I'm happy to talk to people and speak on it, and I have some freebies on there just about how do you find your niche, and I've got Instagram tips on there. It's free. And because I had so much help, when I needed it, this is my way of saying, listen, here's some free stuff, and if you want to take it further, let me know. If not, fine. But here's some of the things that I'm doing.
Where would an agent go to see that?
sipsocialsell.com.
All right, there we go.
I know. You can.
And if anybody wanted to reach out, if somebody wanted to reach out to you directly, is that okay to give an email or number? Or
yeah, you can email me at michelebboca@gmail.com or sipsocialsell@gmail.com. Either or, whichever they prefer.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get in the ring. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go. So we're going to, there, all right, I love it. How about, I'll just ask a couple quick questions then. You can kind of rapid fire. You have a book recommendation, or I don't know if you're using Audible or anything, a book? There we go. Oh, yeah, that's our friend Chelsea right there.
Chelsea, I got her book. I like Amy Schmittauer, Blog Like a Boss.
Yeah, okay. I saw her at the Social Media Marketing World event. Yep.
Yeah. I love Amy. I mean, she's great. Love her book. On Audible, let me look at my Audible. My Audible list is crazy. Okay, here's my Audible list. This Time Together, Carol Burnett. Stories only I tell my friends. Rob Lowe, by the way, amazing. Guys, get that. You die. He's fantastic. Let's see what else. Oh, I've got Crush It. Little Gary Vee.
Right, yep.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a. Got a few things in there.
Thanks for not saying that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And how about what is your favorite mobile app?
My favorite mobile app. Well, I love jumping on Instagram, but honestly, my favorite mobile app I think is Adobe Spark Video because I can knock out videos really quick on it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. I like Trello. Trello's great.
Right.
YouTube and Netflix.
There we go. And one final question. How about, since you like to travel, why don't you tell us, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I love coming home to Boca. Highly recommend people come to Boca. I've been very lucky. I've been able to travel a bit. I'm actually going to Italy and Paris in about a month for a wedding. Oh. So I'm kind of excited about that.
All right.
I don't know. We like the Bahamas. I'm an equal opportunity traveler.
Okay,
Let's put it that way. Like, I'll travel, and I do have flight benefits, so I can hop on a plane here and there. And
the Bahamas are so close.
I got to be honest with you. I love places like Cape Cod, Hilton Head, Savannah, Turks and Caicos. Love Turks and Caicos. Bimini's fantastic. Harbor Island in the Bahamas.
That's amazing. You've been able to travel that.
I like the summer. Well, with Andy being a captain, we had that benefit of being able to go to some of these places, which was really.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, what about you? Where do you want to go?
Well, my wife and I are going for 2 weeks down to Mexico here very soon. So we like to just jump across the border and go. So anyway.
I honeymooned there in Manzanillo at the resort where they filmed the movie 10. I just totally dated myself.
Uh-oh. Well, thank you so much for sharing. This has been great. We're going to get it out. Agents are going to see this. They're going to watch it. They're going to listen. Fantastic information. I can't wait to get the show out to people.
Oh, if anybody has any questions, just go to subsocialcell.com. They can jump on, and I have a little discovery call kind of thing. And, I just feel like it got me from here to here to here. And I'm not a big team or anything like that. And I think that's a message that also needs to go out there. It's like, you can rebuild your business, reinvent your business at any age. You don't have to be a big team if that's not your game.
Yeah.
And you can be super successful and really enjoy work-life balance. And that, to me, is key.
Yeah.
Having joy in my life.
Absolutely. Every agent needs to hear that one. Every agent. Thank you so much.
I just did an Instagram post about comparing, because you just can't compare yourself to. It's too stressful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep, there's a quote out there. Don't compare your first step to someone else's 100th.
Oh, brilliant. So
thank you so much. We truly appreciate it.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun.
My pleasure.
All right, guys. Hey, until next time, this is Jeff Underwood along with
Joey Sampaga.
Yes, we are the Real Estate Marketing Maniacs.
Oh, yeah.
See ya. All right. Sweet.
Good job.
Thank you so much.